Hello friends, this is Carrie and welcome back to I Like Reddit channel. Today we have one story plus a comment out of the Entitled Parents subreddit. Let's begin. Our first story is posted by Orionus. EPs try to follow me on a flight and demand to speak to your manager. Backstory. This happened a few years ago. My parents are the epitome of what makes an EP, and I've got plenty of stories about their antics. To sum it up quickly, I had decided at 18 years old to run away from them and live overseas, where I am today and quite happy. This was the biggest decision of my life, and I was nervous as heck. They had done terrible stuff since my childhood, and I needed to get away for my own safety and well-being. I planned the flight about 2 weeks before the date, and my parents, the whole time, didn't think I'd go through with it. To be fair, they only thought I was going on vacation for a short bit. Came the day, and after me calling an Uber to take me to the airport, they caved to save face and took me themselves. I checked in and did all that good stuff before I had to go through security. I waved them off and began to walk forward until the following goes down. The cast. S, security, EM, and ED are self-explanatory. Security. Excuse me, where's your boarding pass? I only see one here. He points at my boarding pass. EM. Oh, don't worry. We're just taking our daughter to the gate. Security. No, I'm afraid. You can't go past this point without a boarding pass. EM. What? But she's our daughter. You can't tell me what I can and can't do with my own daughter. Security guy sighs, looks at a flustered me up and down. I have a baby face, and have always looked much younger than I actually am. Security. Alright, how old are you? EM. Well, she's me. I'm 18, sir. EM glares at me. Shh. Security. Well, she's an adult and does not require accompaniment from her parents. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. EM. But she does. She's not mentally 18. She's mentally regressed and has issues. Me. Shocked and embarrassed. I had depression brought on by diagnosed PTSD. Those were my issues. Yet she worded it to make it sound like I was intellectually disabled. What? ED. She's mentally a child. She still likes those Chinese cartoons. Referring to Japanese anime and manga. Security. I don't see how this applies here. She seems capable enough. Do you feel you can go through on your own? Me. Yes, I'm okay. EM. Ugh, liar. She begins stomping her foot in frustration like a toddler. Just let me through, right now, with my daughter. ED. Yeah, and me. Security sighs, calling another security officer over. Security officer 2. What seems to be the problem here? Security. EM, cutting both them off. This jerk won't let me go through the gate with my daughter, who is mentally challenged. Security 2. The real story, please. Security explains the deal, and the EPs are fuming. They can tell by the look on their faces they aren't going to get their way. Finally, EM yells out the famously awaited Karen line. EM. I know my rights. I demand to speak to the manager. So another person comes over and the three of them are talking quietly together. Me. Mom, Dad, this is going too far. I'm gonna miss my flight if this keeps going. ED. And whose fault is that? You should have booked a later flight. Me. My flight is at 11 at night. ED. Not my problem. If you miss your flight, then that's on you. Finally, they stop talking and approach us. Supervisor. Hi, I think we can make a compromise. I'm not supposed to do this, but I'll allow one of you through with her to have a meal or just sit with her for a bit. I could really get in trouble for doing this, but I know how far she's going and I know it'll be hard. EM reads her title on her name tag. I asked for the manager. Manager. ED. This is pathetic. Your proposal is also pathetic. How are you going to break up a nice family like that? Me. I really will be fine. I'll catch up with you next time, okay? Supervisor. I understand where you're coming from, but OP seems more than capable and is an adult. I'm breaking the rules by even one of you going through without a ticket, but that's my final offer. EM. No, 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 no. This is ridiculous. By now, EM is stamping around and waving her arms around. She gets up close to the two security who kinda eye her and she immediately backs away, but doesn't stop stamping. Security. Ma'am, I'm afraid if you don't stop, I'm going to have to escort all of you away. Me, realizing she means me too, I quietly mutter, oh crap, under my breath and begin to panic a bit. Fine, we'll just take our daughter home then. She takes my arm, but I pull away quickly. Me, stop. How dare you apologize to your mother? Supervisor looks at me. Would you like your parents to go with you? Me, no, not really. EPs, what? Supervisor, okay, please come along then. No, I demand you let us on her flight with all the problems you've caused. Yeah, and make it first class, any upgrade. You didn't get the manager. You got a supervisor. You lied to me. Manager. Supervisor, ignoring them, turns to me. May I double check your ticket? Me, yeah, of course. I show her my ticket. Supervisor, perfect. One boarding pass for one person. Step this way and enjoy your flight. Me, thank you. Grabs my arm. No, okay, one of us will go through. OP, you like Wendy's, right? Let's get Wendy's through there. Me, removes my arm. No, thank you. I grab my suitcase and walk through security. EPs try to follow and are immediately stopped. This is not the service we pay for. We should be allowed a ticket on the flight for this. Wendy's, OP! Wendy's, come on, Wendy's! Wendy's! I don't look back, and now I'm further away. I can no longer hear them over the line of people I am in. I got my flight just fine and arrived in one piece. I cut all contact with both of them. Legend has it, EM is still screaming Wendy's to this day. Wow, this one was a doozy. I'm glad that the OP was able to free herself of those toxic, awful parents. And to be honest, the part where the mom grabs the OP's arm and threatens to take her out of the airport, the image in my mind kept flashing of basically the OP being locked in a basement and never being allowed to leave, basically being prisoners of the parents. I'm not sure if they're that psychotic, but that image just kept flashing through my mind, and I was thinking, oh my god, this girl really needs to get away from these people. A person in the comment section named Cute Bleeder wrote 2 responses to this story. Pro tip: wait for your parents to plan a vacation of their own and schedule your leave for then. Then you can leave them a note or something. It worked for me. Cute Bleeder goes on to post their story. Basically, parents were awful all around. I paid rent since a month before turning 18, paid part of all the bills, even had to get my own internet line when it became a thing. Worst was I didn't pay extra for AC, lived in Florida, so my parents had a board put over the ceiling vent in my room and attached tinsel to make sure they could see if they were ever blowing. Used my parents' bank account for the longest time until they bought a car with my money down. Everything was in their name. I had to pay them for insurance, loan payments. They would only take cash. I was also not allowed to use the car for anything but work and church. Jehovah's Witness 4 times a week. Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday meetings, plus Saturday to test home door quality. And driving my brothers around. Doing so, they would call the cops and report it stolen. When my older brother crashed it, and when my mom ran over the debris the next morning after a hurricane, popping 2 tires, I had to pay for it all. I mentioned those, and no, there are more like the no boyfriends, no talking to people outside the religion, no blah blah blah. Deep parents do. Because if I broke any of them, or if I missed church, my rent would be doubled permanently. One day, mom calls me in and asks for money to fix the AC, which I do not benefit from. And I say, I cannot spare any, since I was trying hard to save. She pulls out my bank statement and tells me I have just over $300 in my account, and she wants it all. I was like, WTF in my head. She probably used my statements to know when to raise my rent and such. From then on, my work, bless you Dawn from McDonald's, you are my best manager ever and I miss you. Let me forward all my mail there. Then, nearing October, parents planned a vacation over Columbus Day to go to Disney. Mom worked there and can get her husband and some of her kids in for free. I was just expected to pay for myself and for some of the free hotel because I would be using it. I opted out, saying I needed to work all I could. The next morning, I put in a notice at my work for the Friday they would be gone. The moment my entire family left the house and me alone, I packed up 2 boxes with clothes, computer, and very little else. I had Greyhound tickets to the Midwest, where some people I knew a little from online were moving to as well. I kept secret only because I formatted my computer daily and kept a floppy disk with relevant IRC files and logs. My dad worked with computers and checked regularly. I left them a note saying goodbye. I dropped all my online handles and emails and jumped without a parachute. No regrets. First off, I'd like to apologize for the background noise. There's some weirdo riding around on a motorcycle, I think as fast as he can go because there's very little traffic. The other thing is, much of my neighbors are out with their kids playing outside because it is a very nice day. And I can't say that I blame them too much if you've been cooped up all day inside, but public health officials don't really want people outside. Can't be avoided. Sorry with the background noise. The second story, the comment, made me feel like the OP in that story was a prisoner given a little bit of freedom, and they chose to use their freedom well and took the grand opportunity that came their way and get the hell away from those people. But it's too bad it had to come to that to begin with. I mean, those parents just sounded so freaking awful. I mean, using your kid's money without their knowledge in order to buy a car and then wrecking the car and then forcing her to pay for it. I mean, come on, that is just really screwed up. Here's what I think, and this could be totally like out of left field, but I think the parents were raising the rent in order to make it impossible for the OP to actually leave. So whenever you have a good amount of money saved and whenever there's a possibility that this person can leave, they raise the rent, or they'll crash the car, or they'll, make them pay for the broken air conditioning unit so that the OP can never get out from underneath these people. Constantly be either poor, and it's like, oh, well, the only people who will take you in is your family, except you have to pay rent at an exorbitant rate, and you have to pay for everything while your siblings don't have to pay for anything. I think it's a way of making sure that the person is never allowed to leave. I could totally be wrong about this, but that's just how it feels to me. What do you guys think? The first post and the comment. Please leave your comments or your opinions in the comment section down below. If you've been watching until here and are enjoying my content, please put some heart emojis in the comment section down below. Our second and final story is by This Requires a Burner. I just saw a lady get tasered for trying to snatch a woman's face mask to give it to her child. I argued with my husband about whether or not to post this because I'm pretty sure this will make the local news and I don't want to burn this account just yet. But he won the RPS, so here we are. Prepare yourself, the story has layers. We were at a dreaded big box store picking up some potting soil because we are going to do DIY ourselves through the isolation. Things aren't crazy here yet, but there is a 2 per customer limit on the majority of items. I assume this means everything. So we're getting 2 bags each of a few types of soil. My husband is loading the last of the 8 bags on our cart when I hear her. I know it's a Karen just by the level of unnecessary outrage in her voice. Karen, are you kidding me? Not a lot of people out here in the garden center, but we all look at her. I was almost disappointed to see that she didn't come with the requisite haircut. She actually looked like a frazzled mom. Her kid tugging on her hand, an overfull handbasket of groceries, and I had a moment of, girl, I feel you, but damn, she was pointing at us. Karen, you can't buy that many. You are hoarding. My husband, yeah, we can. We're getting 2 each. Karen, oh, you don't fool me. I know what you're doing. My husband, so do I. F off. Well, Karen huffed at that, spun around and yanked her kid back inside to go complain to an employee working the register nearby. Now, we paid for our items. The employee had come out and scanned the bags earlier, and he could easily see our cart from inside. So, being finished, we pushed the cart out of the garden center into the parking lot, and then the automatic doors open behind us and I can hear, now they're stealing, just great. We load the soil into the car and turn around to bring the cart back and look at the plants. By the time we get back, Karen had given up trying to convince the employee we are the Bonnie and Clyde of dirt and is now trying to negotiate skipping somebody in line. She had a child, you see, and her handbasket, well, it's just so full and heavy. Could she please just scooch right in here real quick? It'll just be an extra second, she swears. The woman Karen is trying to skip is young, maybe college age, wearing a face mask. Not the medical mask, but the stretchy kind that you wear while riding a motorcycle or when you go skiing. My husband has just informed me it's a neck gaiter. The mask is black and it has scary wolf teeth on it, and it honestly made the girl look like someone you didn't want to screw with, even though she was wearing a Gap t-shirt with flip-flops. Mask girl is just shaking her head no, and that's all I got when we dropped off the cart. I browse, pick up a couple of plants, and we head inside to wait in line. Now it's showtime. Karen and Mask Girl are near the register facing off. no pun intended. From the looks of things, Mask Girl finished her purchase and Karen stopped her before she could leave. I don't know if she grabbed her or anything, but Karen was still holding her full handbasket, so she hadn't checked out yet. Well, she hadn't paid for her groceries yet because clearly the woman had checked out. Karen: "But you don't need it now. You're leaving. My son could get sick because you won't give it to him and he needs it." Mask Girl: "Hell no, you can't have it. Back off, lady." Karen: "But my son really likes it, and it's obviously made for boys anyway. Why would you even want to wear something so scary?" Mask Girl: "Because I like it, and it has my germs on it. Why would you put a stranger's mask on your kid?" Karen: "Ugh, why are you being so rude? You wouldn't let us go through the checkout first, and now you're making my son very upset." Mask Girl: "Your problem, not mine." And then Mask Girl turns to leave while Karen manifests her biggest balls ever and grabs Mask Girl by the back of her mask. Let me make a side note here. When all of this is going down, we're all just standing in line watching. The register is still going boop, 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 as the employee is scanning items. But otherwise, we're just inside this hypnotic bubble. But when Karen reached out towards Mask Girl, it was like the bubble popped and made everything crystal clear. Not slow-mo or anything, but absolutely felt hyper aware, like Spider-Man. Karen reaches out. People on both sides of me inhale loudly. Karen grabs the mask and yanks. A lady on my right yells and my husband steps forward. Mask Girl tucks her head down and she turns to Karen like a pissed off bull with a bright shiny new target. I think Karen was going to say something like, "Don't you walk away from me," or something, but all she got out was, "Don't!" Crack. I look around because the noise was so loud I figured the roof was about to cave in. But out of the corner of my eye, I see Karen spasm and drop to the floor writhing. The little Mask Girl had a freaking taser. I don't know when she pulled it out, this tiny little flashlight looking thing, but she had Karen laid out with it. And not one of us moved for what felt like forever. Like we were frozen. And then it was freaking bedlam. Security guards showed up, more employees showed up. Mask Girl is chilling like she's been through this before and knows what's coming next. The kid is screaming that the wolf girl killed his mom, even though she's groaning and sobbing on the floor, clearly not dead, but maybe wishing she was. The people that had been in line with us were all talking at once, trying to tell the security guard what happened. We hung around just witnessing the insanity for maybe 2 more minutes before Karen started choking out demands for an ambulance, the police, a lawyer, the mayor, restitutions, and reparations. My husband made eye contact with the employee and got a thumbs up when he put the plants on a shelf and pointed towards the door. We got out of there. We drove home in silence until my husband parked the car in our driveway and then just burst out laughing. Neither of us have ever seen anything like that before. We live in a small beach town. People are super laid back and mellow. Karen was anything but. I hope to never see her again. ETA. Not sure what the awards mean, but thank you very much. I made this account to tell a story that happened 25 years ago and blew my shot on a Karen instead. Slowly responding to messages, but to answer a couple of questions, I can't access security footage. I am an unreliable narrator in what Karen's body actually did. I wasn't looking directly at her, but she flailed, fell, and squirmed while groaning. I do not know the difference between a taser and a stun gun. Mask Girl had what looked like a thin baton flashlight. We have very lax taser laws in my state. Thanks for reading. Take care of yourselves and stay safe. I don't know where this happened, if it happened in the US, but I'm assuming that because Karen actually assaulted this girl, that what Mask Girl did would be considered self-defense. And seeing as there was many witness statements that probably stated that Karen had been harassing people all throughout the store, Karen had this coming. If she just minded her own business and just went about her shopping without being a nuisance to people, she wouldn't have been laying on the floor tasered. Also, if she didn't try and rob that girl, too. But what do you guys think? Do you think the Mask Girl got in trouble, or do you think Karen was taken away for assault and handcuffs? Please put a comment in the comment section down below. That's all the stories I have for today. Links to the original Reddit posts will be in the description box below. Please stop on by Reddit to show the OP some love and an upvote. If you enjoy my content, please comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell notification to let you know when I've uploaded new videos. Thank you for watching and have a great day.